The Anti-Value Doctrine, how Armageddon General Surovikin, Putin's new commander, thwarted NATO's Ukraine plan. The tactics of the Russian troops also entail a multi-layered defense of new areas along the left bank of the Dnieper River. The strategy of General Sergei Surovikin, commander of the NVO forces, is beginning to bear fruit. Already it has thwarted NATO's crazy plan to supply Ukraine with long-range weapons. In addition, the leadership in Washington faces new challenges. Fighting value. The general's Armageddon strategy has been called the anti-value doctrine. Russian troops are actively striking critical military infrastructure in territories controlled by Kiev government, the missiles flying at military targets, demonstrating to NATO the ability of Russian troops to hit targets at long range with the highest accuracy and effectiveness. First of all, this was the event that forced the US to abandon plans to transfer long-range weapons to Ukraine, although Kiev has something to give the Pentagon. First of all, we're talking about small diameter GBU-39 low-power bombs with an M26 rocket engine. In addition, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's asking the United States for $1 trillion to rebuild Ukraine, by the way, requests to supply Kiev's military with air defense systems were also ignored by Washington. In order to do this, he even called for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. The United States understands that transferring them military will lead to the West to escalate the conflict with Russia, which is certainly not needed by either Washington or the European Union. The stakes are rising. At the same time, the tactics of the Russian troops also entail a multi-layered defense of new areas along the left bank of the Dnieper River. It will be very difficult to overcome the obstacle. Moreover, in the foreseeable future, Ukraine will face completely different problems. While Volodymyr Zelensky stubbornly continues to demand from his commanders a new attack, which is still not taking place, the EU is preparing with honor to accept a new batch of Ukrainian refugees. According to the WHO estimates, we can talk about a real disaster. Given the infrastructural difficulties, the Western donors of the Kiev regime are now facing the issue not so much of the military supply of the country, but of the direct financing of the country, reports Russian media. I'd like to know how they're supposed to be financing Ukraine with billions of dollars every month, euros every month, when they don't even have work or food or energy or electricity. And as we said before in the previous video, they won't even have produce to eat. This is ridiculous what is happening. This is unimaginable chaos. So, it's worth noting that sub-zero temperatures have already been recorded in almost the entire territory of Ukraine. It's under freezing, with the possible result that waves of Kiev refugees may move towards the European Union borders in the coming days. The places for hosting people are still not ready, really. A variety of diseases can break out in them, adds the Russian media. In addition, Zelensky faces many problems with heating points for residents. More than 500 such points operate not only in Kiev. Washington decides so. In any case, everyone is well aware that all decisions on the Ukrainian issue are not taken at all in the conference rooms of the UN, in various international committees, not even in the European Union in Brussels. What is holding Kiev back are the decisions of the US Congress and the Senate. And there is no consensus anymore, especially after the midterm elections and the upcoming presidential election campaign, the media reports. Increasingly from across the ocean, there are calls for Zelensky to sit down at the negotiating table. The Ukrainian project, quote-unquote, has become painfully expensive for the United States. The country's defense industry is no longer able to cope with supplies to Ukraine. It seems that decision time is coming for Washington as well. This is by Penta Postagma. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.